Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Hello.
I have Peter with me, and before we start, we do want to let you know that we appreciate you here at PDP. Last week was Drug Driver Appreciation Week, and we just want to take this opportunity to thank you. We honor you, we appreciate everything that you do, and we just want to say big thanks to you out there for keeping America moving. There is several things that we're going to be talking about today. We included the topic on the meeting, but there is some really interesting stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight. So please stay joined until the end. We do have the 300 drawing at the end of the meeting, so you have to be in the meeting until the end to be eligible to win the $300. And we also have the MVO, and it's going to be a pretty exciting night. We were looking at the names, and hopefully, you know, if they don't change, you know, we have some exciting news for you tonight. So stay tuned. And without further ado, Peter will go ahead and start.
Thank you, Myra. Thank you. Yes, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for all that you do. I do also appreciate all the hard work that you put in, and to this day, keeping it safe. In fact, the August Brake Safety Week, we did a great job, team. I mean, you guys just surpassed because we did really, really good. And actually, it's probably one of our best months historically, which is crazy to think.
Roadside inspections, yes.
Yes, which is crazy because that was actually the time when the DOT was looking at everybody, and we did really, really good all together. So of course that will reflect, and of course everybody will share the benefits of that. So thank you for thinking about yourself and others and the road. But yes, without further ado, I'm gonna start with the topic. I'm gonna try to keep it short. Yes, but I'm really excited about the topic today. The 5 strategies to increase your profit. I'm just gonna mention what they are really quick, and then I'll go into details. But number 1 is becoming profitable doesn't just happen. Number 2, eliminate the I can't from your vocabulary. Number 3, become a problem solver. Number 4, refine your strategies until validating it works. And then lastly, apply your strategies with boldness. So I got really excited about this, and it's a very good topic. Yes, and also if you do have a question, and you can just write it in the chat, and we can get to it towards the end also, so that you don't forget about that question. But write it down so we have that ready. Alrighty, so yes, the 5 strategies. And as I mentioned, number 1 is becoming profitable doesn't just happen. So from my experience and from what I've seen, becoming profitable is a result of purposeful planning, focused implementation, and constant refinement. We'll get into all of those today, but it's very important because you know, those that do struggle, they fail to realize that the process must be accompanied with a set of strategies or mindsets from that form the foundation for your work. You know, it's it's impossible to succeed without this in mind, and this takes some time to develop. But it is actually not that hard. Without strategies, you will bounce around from trucking company to a trucking company and fall back into a financial hole or a bad habit, you know, every time there's a new cycle. And as you guys know, we've talked about the cycles. There's multiple. There's the yearly cycle, which is a product cycle. every year it slows down in the first quarter, then it goes up, and summer it booms, and then right before the end of the year, pretty much before Christmas, there's a big push, because of all the holidays, and then the cycle starts again. And that happens every year. Then there's the 4-year cycle, which has something to do with equipment supply, how much trucks as a whole in the industry, how much trucks versus how many loads are available. It's interesting, though, that it's a 4-year cycle, which actually goes along with the presidential elections. It's all interconnected in many ways. And we've gone into those details. So watch those YouTube videos in the past if you want to learn about that. And then there's the economic cycle, which happens differently between 8 to 15 years. But with the technology and all the new things that we have seen pretty much ever since there was the combustion engine invented, and the new inventions that happened in the last 100 years, it's been happening, much more often. Whereas before, you would have seen these economic cycles take place much, much longer. But it's very interesting to learn, from the history. And again, I encourage you to look into those because it's all very interesting too to understand. But here's the thing, though. Allow strategies to influence your business, your investments, your money, and life in general, and you will see, this profitability. You will see the success. Again, all of it is interconnected. Your thoughts contribute to the most of your success. There's a lot of people that think, man, if I only knew a secret, if I only knew what the other person did, or maybe if I had a lottery, that I would have won. Well, historically, and and if you do read statistics, you don't become profitable or successful. From luck, or it happens very rarely. Okay, for the most part, people have been able to reach the success because of how they think. So your thoughts, they're very, very important. How you think, it's very, very important. There's this saying, I don't know who said it, but I love it. It says, thoughts drive actions, and actions drive results. It is so, so true. I mean, it's so true from my experience, and I'm sure that many of you will agree. Yes, but as you plot and as you refine your course of action, removing all doubts, all the negative voices from the news and from the friends, if you have those negative friends, and focusing on the goal, that's what's going to get you to be profitable, get you to be successful. Okay, so all of that to say, again, becoming profitable doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of action, a lot of work, intentional, and having the right mindset. Okay, number 2, eliminate the I can't from your vocabulary. This is very, very important. Again, please, consider this, that I'm not talking to you about how to drive better, or, you are the professional owner-operator, the professional driver. You know how to operate that truck, okay? A lot of these things are so simple, but they're very, very important. To be profitable, it's easy, in many ways. You don't have to, have a crystal ball or to have special doctor's degree. It's actually very, very simple. But, even though People make it sound more difficult than it is, but it's actually very, very simple. And actually, a lot of people are doing it without even realizing. A lot of you are successful because of these things that you're doing, and you don't even realize it. So this is speaking to the people that haven't reached that, or you're maybe giving out, or maybe allowing that doubt get in your head. This is this is for you. Henry Ford said these words. I love it. Whether you think you can do it or you can't, you are right. That is so, so true. Okay, just think about it. Whether you think you can or can't, you are right. It's very, very interesting because, from the position and sitting where I'm sitting, I'm able to see and overview people that do succeed as an owner-operator. And during the times like we are right now, even like the soft market, and then others who fail. Some are average, but there's some that are actually failing miserably, and you're like, man, let me help you. Okay, but it's all right here. It's all in your it's very important. Like I can help you, I can try to bring you to the water, okay, but you're the one who's gonna have to accept and drink it. But failed owner-operators hold on to the I can't, or it's too risky, Peter. It's just too much, mentality. And in my experience, all of that is an excuse, okay, for not taking responsibility of your financial future, of really doing what it takes, okay? And to be honest, I'm speaking to myself because I've done this at some point myself, unfortunately. And yes, but when you dig into the lives of people, with the naysayers, or have friends that are negative, or bosses and this is why I'm really, really, there's trucking companies that have drivers, and that's their sell point, obviously, and they basically strive to keep employees, to keep drivers under their thumb. So obviously they're constantly spreading the fear of failure, and you can't do it yourself. You got to have the big people take care of the big problems, type of thing, which it's just sad. But it's true. There's good trucking companies out there. There's others out there, I'm sure, that can tell you that all of this is baloney that I'm talking about. But I'm talking to you, the owner-operators out there. I'm talking to the independent contractors out there, okay? If you want to be stuck as a driver, no problemo. Just go and be a driver. But you as an owner-operator, listen. This is very, very important. If you have friends that are negative, or if you have somebody that you're listening to a voice that they can't, or too risky type of thing, I'm sorry, you're going to have really, really hard time being an owner-operator. Okay? And the benefits that the owner-operators that you get being as an owner, being as your own boss, you're not going to be able to sustain it. Because like it or not, we're in a soft market right now. And it's possible to go through this. It's still possible to make money right now. Okay? The truth is that you can do this. Okay? This is very, very important. Through education, through trials and errors and hard work. I'm just speaking from my own experience right now, but I'm sure many of you can agree with this. It is possible, okay? And as long as if, and it doesn't matter, what the experience is, bad or good or bad, you can learn from it. But in my experience, you can be successful, you can become profitable even during times like this. We do have, as I mentioned, owner-operators that are profitable even in today's market. But if you think that I can't, then you're probably correct, okay? Because you will fail with that attitude, and you are so correct with that. This is so true and so humbly hurtful to say this, because for those of you that say that I can, I know that the next question after that is, how can I? Okay? If you think that you can, the following is just natural. How can I? And everything else just falls into place. Okay, so that's number 2. So number 3, become a problem solver. This is very, just from my own experience, of course, but very important to understand. Because if you just sell a service of trucking, or if you just come out every day with an attitude of being another guy, another driver, another owner-operator, what distinguishes you from others? But if you start coming out there and selling a solution to customers' problems, first of all, it's a different way of living, and it's much more exciting, at least in my experience, okay? But this is very crucial to your success. Problem solvers look beyond obstacles and barriers. Okay, they see the solutions and opportunities when they see, some problems. Every single one of us, we deal with daily, constantly. There's always problems to solve. But the more you learn, the more you put yourself into that position, and the more you learn from that. First of all, you don't make huge mistakes, and you can actually come up with solutions that can make it so much faster and better, and maybe even come up with a way how to make it as an extra profit. But I've seen and heard multiple stuff like this. And this is the way I do it. Like, I see a problem, I solve it. I see a problem, there needs to be a solution. Maybe it takes a little bit longer to figure it out, but eventually you do come to it. Majority see what currently exists, versus the problem solvers, they think creatively and visualize something better. Yeah, problem solving comes as a gift to some. However, problem solving is more of a skill, which is good news for you, because that means anyone can develop it. Problem solving skills come through meaningful experiences. This is very important, because how do you get this talent, or how do you develop it, right? It comes through meaningful experiences, by knowing why certain approaches have or haven't worked in the past. This develops your own intuitive ability for problem solving, right? Learn, and learn. This is why I personally always say I will always learn. There's never enough, there's never a roof to how much you can learn, because when you stop learning, you pretty much limited yourself right there. But to learn and to develop this skill, there's 2 places that you can look for. And sometimes we know them, but we just don't do them. Number 1 is you can learn from mistakes and failures and trials, experiences, your own. Okay, everything of your own. But hey, did you know that you can do that also learning from others' mistakes, from others' experiences? This is why listening and reading and talking to the successful owner-operators is important. Look, if you have a beat-up friend that bankrupt a couple times, maybe it's a good time to lose that friend, okay? But if you cannot be an influence on him, then it's most likely they're becoming an influence on you. And then you like shocked, why? You know, but guess what? If they went bankrupt and they're advising you on things, well, guess what? You're most likely gonna reach that scenario yourself. Again, I'm just speaking from my own experience here because I've done exactly that, unfortunately, and I've had to lose some friends like that. But it's okay. Looking back today, I'm actually much better off, and I know of that friend, and I spoke to them a little bit later on, and I was actually surprised because that breakup actually helped them too. So I was very happy about that. Yes, but this is very important that about problem solving. Immersing yourself into problems. Okay, don't shy away, don't run away from them, but immersing in them. Okay, pushing your way through those problems. This is the secret sauce, or the secret, to developing your skill of problem solving. Okay, again, immersing yourself in problems and pushing through those problems. This will develop your skill of problem solving. Okay? Okay, so number four, refine your strategies until validating it works. This is really, really big one. I was so excited about this one. Personal, preferences and things that that describe about, in trucking, like what is personal preferences. It's pretty much when you answer the questions how, when, where, and what you drive. Okay? I'm not going to get into those, but basically think about it. How, when, where, and what do you drive? Okay, that describes your personal preferences. Budgeting includes prioritizing your preferences or profit from that lane. Okay, so if you have a lane from, Georgia to Florida, I mean, it might be great. Why do you go to Florida? I mean, is it because you live there or because you like the beaches? Okay, or can you kind of say, well, maybe I don't have to go to the beach so often or something like that. I know this is a very, very, extreme, because we all know that going to the beaches is silly, because, Florida doesn't always pay. I mean, there's other beaches out there. But my point is, think about your preferences. Think about your priorities. Okay, and think about how to make the profit. You got to balance all of that, and and that's really what it is. Refining those strategies, refining and balancing those things. Yes, but let me continue. Choosing lanes is not all about how much it pays. Choosing lanes is also including on prioritizing with your preferences. This constant refinement of all of these moving pieces, and you understand that the market ever changes, this constant refining and planning gets better and better with experience, and it matters most when you have to make that split decision when you're booking the load. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you're using the app or you know, if you're on the phone, how can you know that it's a good load and you jump on it, you know, when you haven't been in the game, okay, or when you don't even know what your preferences or priorities are, okay? But all of that, think about all of that. Strategy is not perfected until you profit, okay? So all of this balancing act, when you really know is that it's good, is when you validate it. And there's two types of validations that I can think of. One of them, you profit. Duh. Okay. Okay. But yes, when you profit and you like the gig, hey, you got something good going. If you don't, guess what? You probably need to rethink it. And because of the market that changes all the time, if you've been into a lane that's been working for you maybe a year ago, but it's not right now, maybe it's time to develop another lane. But that's the thing. When you profit, that's a key, you know, probably one of the best things that you can, the ultimate validation, I should say, that the strategy is working. Okay? And especially when it's in the soft market. Number two validation is when passion, what you're best at, and the profit driver all converges together. Okay, and you can see this on the screen. We actually teach this to our office over here. This is from a book, Good to Great. I'm telling you, like, this is a great book, a great read. But what are you passionate about? Okay, think about that. And then what are you best at? Think about that. And then what is your driver profit? What drives your profit? All of those things, when they merge, yeah, when you have those three things converge, that middle piece right here, that's when you are in the you know, sweet spot per se. But yes, definitely, you know, you haven't been into this business if you're not passionate about business. But it's very, very important to profit from it too, because we all got to eat, we all got to pay. And I remember a couple years ago, like 5-7 years ago, I said to myself that, look, if I am in business and it cannot support myself and the growth, then why am I doing this business? Like, what's the point? If it cannot even support me, I'm either doing something wrong and I need to figure this out, okay? And if I can't, if it's too much over my head, then I just need to maybe switch into a different business, okay? But in any case, it does not make sense, okay? It does not make sense to operate a business when it cannot even support you, okay? It's just math and logic, okay? So, but here's the thing, here's the catch. I know that you can do this, okay? I know that you can do this. And again, we have owner operators that are doing it. So please check into this, you know, balance it, refine it, fine tune it, and keep doing it until it validating that it works, until you know that it works. In conclusion, for this number 4, you know, to profit more than a driver, you know, it's not enough to just become an owner-operator and book loads, okay? It's that simple. During the really great years, like maybe a year or two ago, when the rates were much better and there was a big spread in the net, yeah, anybody could have done it, okay? But times like this, like right now, this is where the fire comes through, you know, and really, you know, kills all the germs and all the leftovers and stuff like that. And only the strong survive. But those that do survive this, and again, I know you can survive this, because these cycles, they come again over and over all the time. I know you can do this. And as you refine and fine tune this, the next wave, remember about those waves? The next wave that comes, which is not that far, guys, it's not that far. You'll be the first one. And again, in the first couple months with that first wave, it's enough, usually in my experience, it's enough to cover all of the potholes that you've had dug yourself into and some. And that's where you really, really make the most money out of it, out of deals like this. Number 5, we're almost done, okay? Apply these strategies, okay, with boldness. And you can only do it with boldness if you know what you're doing. But actions for action's sake is like acting out a plan without a target. I mean, it's self-explaining, right? But how can you, act on something that you don't even have a target for? Okay. At the end, guess what? You will miss the target. Duh. Okay. How can you, make it if you don't even have it ahead of you? The sooner you apply this, all these strategies, everything that I've talked about in the past, with all the experts coming out, the sooner that you apply this, the sooner you will be successful. It's just that simple. Some people hold off, thinking if blank, 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 and I have a couple blanks here, if I knew more information, then, if the rates per mile would be higher. Okay, I mean, we always want that, okay, of course. If economy was more stable, man, if timing was better in life or business, or, if I could only time when is the best time to get into trucking. I mean, have you heard that? Have you thought of that? I mean, that crossed my mind. If I knew the secret to the $1 million lane, okay? I mean, I think we all want, we all want to know where these lanes are. But guess what? There's none like that, okay? But how can you even know where is a good lane if you're not in the game? Okay? How can you understand or know? Because it's an ever-changing market. And guess what? A lot of you do find those because it's different for everybody. All of you live in different places. All of you have different preferences, different ideas, and different, different period in life, in your personal life. So for each one of you, that great load will look differently. Okay, also trailer types, it will look differently for each one of you. So it's silly to think that that person's lane is going to be great for me. It's probably not. But guess what? You can only know where that lane is when you're in the game, when you're doing it right now, especially. Okay, this is the best time actually to build up these relationships. And guess what? A year from now, I'm going to tell you it's the best time then. Because it is. It always is. Okay? The truth is, this is also very, very important. The unknowns ifs, okay? The unknown ifs will lead to mistakes, most likely. Okay? However costly they are, these mistakes are priceless in terms of lessons learned from the previous, couple strategies that we talked about. Because all of it comes to, we learn. It's not bad to go through the unknowns. Okay? So, bottom line, okay? Bottom line, you really have two choices. You have a poor strategy and mindset, which you know, it will derail you even from a best of plans. Okay? Or use these 5 strategies above, and they are the speed and efficiency at which you will your well-oiled machine can operate. Okay? This picture speaks for itself. But which side are you? Okay? Which side are you?
We have a couple of more questions.
Go
So
ahead.
really quick, Michael Harris is asking, is it a hassle to run to Canada? It is not a hassle. It does require some special paperwork. We do have to do customs paperwork here in the office, so that's kind of like an extra step that you have to take. We have to know which port you're going through. We have to know what time you're going to be crossing the port, and we have to file that paperwork before you actually get there, and it needs to be approved before you get there so that you can cross with no issues. So there is not, I wouldn't call it a hassle. I would just say that it's a process, and it is a bit, you know, different from anything else that you guys do. So it does take us a while for us to file that paperwork here in the office. But if you send that over to us and you let us know what time you're going to be crossing, what border you're going to be crossing, then that can help us expedite your paperwork, or the paperwork for you.
Yeah, very, very important to understand. When you're looking at those prices, a lot of times it's in Canadian dollars.
And not US.
Which show the screen. Nate, please show the screen. This is very important. So if you look at the exchange between dollar and Canadian dollar, which is good right now in our favor because our dollar, is this right? Am I reading this right? So our dollar is there 132. So it's good. When it's in reverse, and for a long time it was in reverse, our dollar was worth less than Canadian dollar. So it does not make sense. And, you know, like during those times, you would book, wow, $5,000, but it was Canadian dollars. And when you transfer it into us, it was much less. And it's like, oh man, I lost. But right now, actually, this is probably good news for you. Actually, you can see it right here. Look, September. Well, no, it was still dollar. Yeah, you probably need to, let me see, probably year, 5 year. Yeah, there you go. So like, see, like in here, in June 4th, 2021, no, it was still good. Man, I'm trying to find when was the last time it was bad. But anyway, long story short,
just make sure that whenever you're booking a load, if it's a Canada load, or even some Canada brokers, they sometimes put their amount, yes, on Canada dollars. So just make sure that it's USD currency and not Canada.
Yeah.
There is another question in here. Omar Whitaker, he's asking, can we book with Convoy now? Yes, Peter, we do have Convoy back. However, we are on a probation period. So
yes.
Unfortunately, we're limited right now to the amount of drivers that we can have in the app, and we have to complete a certain amount of loads with them before we can get out of the probation period. So Omar, we do have it back. However, like I said, you know, it's very limited right now. As soon as we get back on where we were, you know, before we were blacklisted, I'm sorry, we will go ahead and add everybody else. But right now we cannot add everyone back on Convoy, and we have to be really careful.
Same thing with Amazon, same thing with Uber.
All of these apps, they're pretty much basing or performance with, you know, things like being on time, using the app itself, submitting paperwork through the app, communicating. All of these things are being measured, tracked. Yes, all of these things are being measured. Fallouts, those were actually the ones that got us out of Convoy last time. There were too many fallouts from the load. So we have to be really careful, and unfortunately, since we're limited right now, it's not open to the entire fleet. We just selected a couple of owner-ops that we knew were really good with apps. We do keep record of load cancellations, and we do keep record of issues that happen. So we selected the ones that did not have any load cancellations on their end. And we selected the ones that we knew were good at communicating, good with apps, and have worked with Convoy in the past and didn't have any problems. So it's not open to everyone just yet.
Yeah, which comes to say that technology, mobile, all of that, I mean, it's the future. And I personally foresee that more and more you'll be able to, instead of calling and dispatch, and talking to a person, you'll just be able to do it on the phone and get it all done. So it's in many ways the way where it's going. But we're not all the way there yet. So it's not complete, But just consider that, yes, if you're tech savvy, then, that's an advantage for you. So if you're not, maybe you want to get into that. But listen, if not, if that is, I mean, you're just like, no, I'm never going to have it. No, thank you. I mean, obviously, to the bare minimum that you are already using it, it's fine. But I'm just saying, it's out there. So.
Yeah, and we'll let you know as soon as we get to the point where we can add everybody else in the fleet on that.
Okay.
One last question. Rudy Lopez, where do you find a list of brokers and load boards we can use? Contact Shipping Specialists. They do have a list of the load boards that you can get signed up for free. If you're not in there already, they can get you signed up and they can help you. So please contact them in the morning and ask them. As far as like brokers, you can pretty much use any broker that is accepted through APED. So whenever you do the credit check, if they have a credit line, if everything is okay on that end, you can go ahead and book with them. The only ones that we suggest not to book with are brokers that have poor payment history, brokers that are not approved, that don't have a credit line, or that are barely new to the industry. So stay away from those. Anybody else who is
for
approved,
your own good.
Yes. Anybody else who is approved through APEDs, you can book with. And that will conclude the questions.
And just so you know, the list is endless. I mean, we tried to download it once. It literally took hours, and we're like, okay, this is never ending. We're not gonna do this. So it's just no point. There's just literally, it's not thousands, it's tens of thousands. There's a lot of different brokers out there. But yes, if they're approved,
just do your credit checks, and
yes,
if they're approved, you can go ahead and book with them.
Yes.
All right. That will conclude the questions. We need to do MVO and Wheel of Names.
Yes. Okay, so Wheel of Names first?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, 2 drawings for $300 each. But guess what? Everybody's a winner, because everybody that's attended here, you get 3 positive points on your BTO card. If you're not aware of what that is, please reach out to the office. That is very, very important to you. It has to do with roadside inspections, all of that. But without further ado, let me go ahead and run it. Please show the screen. Here's the name of all the people. Ta-da! And we are spinning. And the first winner is... always does that very close. Eric Smith. Woohoo!
Congratulations, Eric. Just let us know you're here.
Yes, you need to be here. Ready? Okay, so the next person... Taran, 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 drums. Sadiki. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sadiki.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. Again, everybody gets 3 points. And now we're going to go to the most valuable owner operator award. And just so you guys know, if you're not aware how this works, we take the top 3. The first place gets $1,000, second place gets $750, and the third place gets $250. We do them right here during these monthly meetings. Every month we give away $2,000 total, and it has to do with safety performance when it comes to your logs and roadside inspections. So even if you are exempt with your ELDs, you're still in here, okay? And then it just the calculation looks at your roadside inspections and gross loads more heavily. But all of that looks together where safety is accounted for 2/3, and then financial performance, your gross loads, is accounted for 1/3. So with that said, the report says that number 1 today is Jake Hughes.
Congratulations,
Woohoo!
Jake.
Wow, you guys are always very, very close.
So it was exciting to watch this before the meeting and then, right at the meeting.
Yes. Yes, the second place is Lee Burrell. Good job, Lee.
Good job, Lee. And this is for LB 100.
Yes, LB 100. And then Carlos Dawkins is third place. Good job, Carlos.
Good job, Carlos.
And Jason, you're so close. Michael, Adam, you guys are all very, very close. When I'm looking at these, they are so close. So anyway, thank you so much. Yes, thank you for all that you do, guys. We bless you. We thank you for everything, and we bless you to the next meeting.
Which is going to be October 17th.
Yes, thank you. October 17th, that's a Monday, 6 p.m. All right. Thank you for waiting on us and listening to us. We bless you. Have a blessed day.
On behalf of the office, thank you all for everything that you do.